It seems as if the more distance Mozart put between himself and his father, the more he dallied and avoided employment. Mozart had tasted freedom, and he had a novel supply of excuses for why hard cash wasn't being sent back to Salzburg.
No money, but another fine gold watch. What one needs on a journey is money, and now I have 5 of the things. I'm seriously thinking of having an additional watch pocket on each leg of my trousers, so that when I visit some great lord, I shall wear all my watches, and then it will not occur to him to present me with another one.
Mozart had more pleasurable distractions than begging a position. A year into his journey, he experienced a new sensation: sex. Before long, he was bedding his cousin Maria Tekla and writing her letters that were explicitly coarse. And then, on reaching Mannheim, Mozart met a 16-year-old singer and fell in love.
That's it. Mademoiselle Aloysia Weber sang 3 arias to me. Excellent. As far as the singing is concerned, I would wager my life that she will bring me renown. She has greatly profited from my instruction. We will go to Holland and then to Switzerland. You, father, must do everything in your power to get us to Italy, where I can write opera and she will sing.
Examine yourself, my dear Wolfgang. Millions have not received the tremendous favor which God has bestowed on you. You are confronted with far more dangers than those millions who have no talent. What a responsibility, and what a shame if such a genius were to found it.
Beautiful.
Leopold now dedicated himself to tearing his son from Aloysia. As he saw it, his whole life's work depended upon it. Classic parent behaviour here, I think. Father sensing control of his son slipping through his fingers, so he goes off the deep end. And there's an amazing letter he wrote on the 11th of February 1778, which is a torrent of anguish, self-pity and threats. He orders Mozart to Paris, claiming that he'll be otherwise utterly forgotten by the world.
Yes, I told him he risked being captured by some woman and dying, bedded on straw in an attic full of starving children. What else could I do? If you'd have been a father, you'd have done the same.
So finally, worn down by his father's protests and chronically short of money, Mozart left the very next day for Paris, thereby breaking off his relationship with Aloysia. Now, you might think it was easy enough to dismiss that as some kind of youthful fling, but I think that'd be very wrong. Mozart experienced, as far as we know, for the only time in his life, something we've all probably experienced, real heartache. Arriving in Paris then, desolate and raw, confronted by some of the worst rain the city had seen all year, Mozart was entering into a new, dark period, which would ultimately change the nature of his music forever.
My dearest father, I have some very distressing news for you. My dear mother is very ill. She has been bled, but complains of shivering and feverishness. The doctors give me hope, and we must remain calm.
It was typical Fulfil. Even with my mother lying dead before him, he still wrote to us of his hopes that she would recover. He was trying to protect us, I suppose. He asked close friends to be on hand for Father when the sad news reached Salzburg. Despite everything that happened, I'll always remember how he tried to protect Father when Mama died.
When I found out what happened, I blamed him for taking my wife from me. Maria Anna had borne me 7 children, 2 of which survived. By the grace of God, the love she had for 7, she gave to 2. Lost in his own world. He did not care for her. He took her from me.
There can be no greater expression of the suffering that Mozart was experiencing than in his A minor sonata, which he wrote after his mother's death. This marks a huge sea change in his compositional style. Things could never somehow be quite the same again. Firstly, the choice of key, A minor. Musicians up to this point had always viewed minor keys as being somehow imperfect and unstable. And so it's very significant that Mozart chooses a minor key, and particularly A minor, which has a dark and very stark quality to it. Also, there's an enormous sense of contrast through the piece, so that you get pianissimo butting up against fortissimo, very soft against very loud, in a way which simply had never been seen before in a keyboard sonata. And then in the third movement, you get these enormous leaps that the pianist has to accomplish. It's like Mozart is struggling to keep things off his mind. And the way he ends the movement is so abrupt and unsatisfactory, charging forward, sort of beyond the buffers. But it's in the slow movement, the middle movement, that I think we really get the key to this piece. There's something outwardly simple about it. Almost, well, certainly from my point of view, as if it's daddy music. It's about his father. It's about the sense of separation from his father, the umbilical cord being ripped. And you get these extraordinary juxtapositions of colour which create a deep sense of torment. In early 1779, Mozart returned to Salzburg and the watchful eye of his family. After such freedom, how caged he must have felt, once more a lowly court musician.
As you know, Wolfgang and I were now employed by Archbishop Prince Colloredo of Salzburg.